Hi, this is Rob Leo. In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at Google's answer to Microsoft PowerPoint, which is Google Slides. I'm opening up a new tab in my Chrome browser, clicking on the waffle icon, and going to Google Drive to get started. I had set this up already by sharing a PowerPoint with myself from another account. It's Chapter 15 PowerPoint. You can tell it's a PowerPoint by the P icon. And if I just click on it and then right-click, I'm going to make a copy so that it lives in my drive. There's a new version that's my own instead of my other account. There it is, PowerPoint. If I double click it, I can get a preview of it. Notice I'm on page 1 of 33. I can click on the plus button, for example, to zoom in and zoom out. And like other Google products, I can print it, download it, etc. Instead of clicking the right and left arrows, this will navigate between my other documents. What I'm going to do is just scroll down, and you can see all of the slides in your presentation. Notice again, it's view only. You can't edit unless, however, you open with Google Slides. And if that's the case, you can click on it. A new version will be created. That version is now editable with the Google Slides editor. Similar to Google Docs and Google Sheets, you have very similar tools along the top of the screen. In this case, this was a pre-created PowerPoint presentation from a textbook company. It's relying on a specific theme as its background and so forth, but you can change backgrounds, layouts, themes, and transitions. If you do have transitions built into your PowerPoint, they will not carry over into Google Slides. You'll have to reset them with the transitions button. Right now I'm just previewing, but if I want to present, I can click the present button, and that will put me into present mode, where I can navigate slide by slide. You could also just press play, and it should play by itself automatically. You'll notice too that there are settings. You can open up speaker notes, you can print, you can download as a PDF. You can also do what's called presenter view. And if that's the case, especially if you have two screens, you can kind of keep one thing on one screen, and then you can have the other version on another screen that's moving to your projector. You just slide that over into another window so it projects. And what's really cool is you can share this with an audience, so you can have a live Q&A with your students. So if you click Start New, it'll accept questions from this particular shortcut. Let me just make this a little larger. Hopefully you can see it, but you want to share that link with your students. That way they can chime in and ask questions at that link. So you can kind of have a live discussion about your slideshow as it's taking place in real time. And you can also access your speaker notes if you have any at the bottom of each slide. Let's just close this window, bring this back over. Great interactive tool, by the way, if you're ever in the mood to try that out with your students. I'm going to press escape on my keyboard to bring me back to the editing view of this. And again, I've got all these slides already pre-made. Let me close this and create a new slides presentation from scratch. So under the New button, Google Slides, and like Docs and Sheets, you can also search the template gallery. So if you have a concept in mind, you can look at the general templates and look at various ways that Google might recommend you create a presentation of sorts. I'm just going to create one from scratch. So again, the New button and then Google Slides. Like other Google stuff, it's untitled. There's no save button. You simply give it a title on your own, or it remains untitled. Let's call this Slides Demo. And you can kind of see, just like PowerPoint, if you need to add a title, you can just click title to add one. And if you need to add subtitle, I'm going to get real creative here and call that subtitle. As you're working and you want to add new slides, you'll notice a plus button in the top left corner. You'll notice an arrow next to it. You can decide what type of layout you want. So if you're looking for title only, for example, we'll call this slide 2 video. Just want to duplicate the slide. So I'm just going to click it. You see the blue border. I'm going to right click and duplicate the slide. So now I've got 2 with a misspelled slide video. Let me just fix that. Should have fixed it first, but that's all right. What I want to do is insert video into this. You can insert text boxes. You can insert images. Images work just like they do for Google Docs. So you can do a search for something like puppies, more relevant to your content area. But when you do a search, it's bringing up stuff that is only labeled for reuse, protecting you from any copyright violation. You click on it, select it, it adds it to your slideshow, and you can then manipulate it. Before I get to actually adding the video, let me just change this to images, I guess. You'll notice that there's an Explore icon at the bottom of the screen. You saw this in Google Docs where it created citations for us. You saw it in Google Sheets where it looked for formula for us. If we click Explore in Slides, it's going to make some recommended layouts. So it will automatically change the aesthetics of your slide. It'll keep all the same content, but it'll just arrange it in a way that Google thinks might look more aesthetically pleasing. And you can kind of scroll through these, and if you find one that you like, you can go with it and just kind of close this window when you're done. Let's duplicate this slide now. And let's add video. In this case, we're going to add from YouTube. So under your insert menu, there's video. And we're just going to search YouTube. It's a great video I want to recommend to you. The guy's name is Guy Kawasaki. He used to work for Apple. He's now a venture capitalist. He's got something called the 10-20-30 rule, which is advice for creating presentations. There's one that's 40 minutes, and there's one that's 2 minutes. And I'm going to select the 2-minute one and just insert it into my show. Notice it doesn't play, but when I go to present mode, I can manually play it. So before there's an epidemic of veneers, press escape to get back to edit mode. I can also insert video from my Google Drive. So if I have stuff stored in my drive, I've created a bunch of tutorial videos and stored them there. Google knows how to play these, so you can just click on select. You can also look under your shared with me or recent. But when you add that, it does pretty much the same thing. It adds the video automatically to your presentation, and then again in present mode, you can manually play it. If you prefer to just take a clip of your video, one of the things I can do when I select a video, you notice there's video options. I could say, hey, you know what? I would like this video to start at, let me pause it, at 10 seconds in, and I'd like it to end at 30 seconds in. So I just want to play a brief clip of this for my students without having to burden them with watching, 7 minutes worth of a video. Let me just fix that again. We're going to make that 0 and 30. You can also autoplay when presenting. So as you're presenting it, you can click on it and it will, I'm sorry, no need to click on it. It will automatically play. I'm not going to select that option. I'm just going to press enter on my keyboard. I'm going to close this window. And then when I present, I can play it. It's going to start at 10 seconds in and it's going to end at 30 seconds in. You get the idea? So a very handy tool for adding narration or video to your slides presentations. You can also reorder these. So if you want to drag stuff around, notice the black line, that's where it's going to drop in. You can work with backgrounds. So if you want to change the color of a particular slide, you can choose it and then click done. And that should change the background. Let's try that again. There we go. If you prefer, however, they have themes. So if you wanted to just select a theme, let's say you click this one, for example, you could change all of your slides. Notice the font has changed. The title slide is clearly different. Various slides have taken on different form now, but they're all based on the same theme that I've selected. You could also deal with transitions. So if you wanted this title, for example, to animate, you could have it fade in on a click. You could have it fade in or fade out with the previous thing that comes in. But it's worth your while to experiment. If you're the kind of person that likes to add all sorts of transitions, you certainly could do that as well. And you could also play them to get a sense for what it's going to do. The slides will also transition. So if you want to select like a cube, for example, and apply that to all slides, you can adjust the speed. Let me bring this down to medium, apply it to all slides. And now when I present, and I go through my slides, it just faded in on a click. But when I go to the previous slide, it should cube as it transitions from slide to slide. Again, I'm going to press escape on my keyboard. And like other Google products, the sharing options, advanced menu, changing it so that anyone with a link can view is a great way to share with folks. You can copy that link and paste it on a website, paste it in an email, etc. You control what your collaborators can do with it. You can add people manually. If you need to, you can file, see revision history, make a copy, rename, add a star. You can even download as a PowerPoint or a PDF or even image files of the current slide that you happen to be on. So a lot of stuff you can do. One more thing I'll share with you, but I'm running out of time, is to add shapes, and I'll try that out in another video. So thanks for listening to this one. I hope you found it useful.